start this off a little more interesting. Give me, and I'll do the same. Just give me the one scenario where you've made a huge amount, but you had no idea anything about boundaries. You just came and you blew it. Then there'll be the second time where you believe from the first one you've learned your lessons, and you're like, no, this big money that's coming in, I must be responsible. I must be this, and the money still.
I'm still going through it. What up, people? It's your favorite podcast man back again with another one. My name is Michael Shonariwo.
And I'm Murewa.
And this is Menisms, ladies and gentlemen. And this is a very special episode because we are being sponsored by the people at Pompey. How are you feeling about that? We got another one in the bag.
Yeah, we do. But no more on that later on. And how have you been?
I've been good. Again, before we start, everybody, make sure you subscribe to the pod. We appreciate all of you guys that have been rocking with us, that have been supporting us, and I know you have not been seeing our episodes as much. We've been doing the short reels, and we're career men also, we're 30 plus men also, that we're trying to balance the two with our work life. But you guys subscribe so we can make this our full-time job. I do not feel like doing the work I'm doing. I'd rather be getting paid for podcasts, so please subscribe, and God bless you. But the last few weeks have been interesting. There's a lot we've been doing. We had files on our last episode, so that was nice. A nice buzz. We just had Sunday at Ilashe in Abuja. So shout out to all the people in Abuja that came out, because the whole city definitely took care of me. That was fun. A lot of stories. I was there for a week, so it was my first week actually chilling in Abuja. So at least from when I landed to when I left, I went out almost every day. At one point, I had to hide in my house on Thursday and Friday because I was like, bro, I can't do this. But shout out to everybody in Abuja. Shout out to Tony Ame and his team. They looked after me. Shout out to Varuna. Shout out to everybody else that was looking after me while I was there. Abuja people actually know how to have a great time. And Abuja is like Lagos in a way. It's just like way better roads by far. Way better scenery. The air is cleaner. And when I say like Lagos, is that you wouldn't know it has its own nightlife, community. I don't want to say community, but nightlife
atmosphere going on.
Yeah, nightlife setting. And the nightlife setting there is actually quite lit. Like, I was like, I'm not really missing. Obviously, Lagos is different where, like, in nights like today now, we can be in our house. We can just decide to drive to VI or somewhere and do something. So in Abuja, I don't know if it's as common midweek, but during the weekend, they have stuff. And then I saw the energy of people at Sunday at Ilashe. They were mad. And a lot of people also mess with the podcast in Abuja. So shout out to you, because I got a lot of people asking, I watch you and your partner. So everybody was just coming through. So it was good. I mean, that's been really my last week and a half or 2 weeks. What about you? How's things been?
Actually, I've been out of the country for the last 2 weeks.
International Chief Rocker.
Please. So my brother got married. Happy married life to you. Big man now. So he got married, and obviously I went to show support, show love. He got married in Canada, and while I was there, honestly, it was such a breath of fresh air. It's been a while since I've been out of the country, and I honestly needed it. I needed it so much. Just another type of air, scenery, faces, just everything.
How's your account?
We'll get to that.
Okay. Good. I'm glad you.
But it was worth the escape, I would say. I mean, I think it's something. I mean, when people say travel so you can kind of, I mean, it's not my first time traveling out of the country, but it's still a reminder that the more you stay within the confines of the country you live, the less you really know what's going on in the world.
Facts,
So
facts.
There's so many innovations that you're like, wait, this exists, this happens, this is this way. That kind of keeps you on your toes on what to do when you get back to your country. What's
funny is, it sounds bad, like, I don't watch the news as much when I'm in Niger compared to when I'm outside Niger. Like when I'm outside Niger, I don't mind. I can watch the news every day. It's like, okay, what's the update going on today? But when I'm in Niger now, it's like I don't even want to see channels anymore as much. Like you can still watch. I mean, I still watch CNN, Al Jazeera from time to time. But then it's like when I hear channels or see channels come up on my YouTube, it's like I'm not in the mood today.
Yeah. As soon as I landed Nigeria. there was a wave of. I mean, I'm sorry to have to say I love my country to an extent. There was a wave of depression that just
Wow,
blew me in the face.
Depression. We not go do
Right.
that one.
No, and obviously not deep depression that threw me into any kind, but just the awareness that I'm back to a place where so many things are not working like where I was coming from, you know. And this is again just so we put ourselves
Are
on
you
our
sure
toes.
it's not Lagos? Because when I went to Abuja, I can't lie to you. I forgot I was in.
Let me, bro. So wait, I've been to Abuja a couple of times, a lot of times actually. Abuja used to be my escape. I used to run away to Abuja, and Abuja is a newer Lagos. Abuja is what Lagos would have been if Lagos was established a little later.
or planned.
Now, you know, let's not get into that. But yeah, Abuja is a nice place, but it's still Nigeria where things are not working the way they should be
That's
working.
the thing.
Right?
But
So
it's like I didn't. Again, maybe because I'm a Lagos boy, full and full. I didn't feel that, bro. Even if something wasn't working, at the end of the day, you can just be like, "Does anything work everywhere 100% of the time?" Like,
so dead.
and I say, bro, the fact that we had roads like that in Abuja, you don't understand. Smooth, clear roads. The only thing is none of your streetlights work in Abuja, which makes no sense. Which is
back
another
to-
conversation for another. Because at nights, everywhere is just dark.
I know that. Yeah.
But bro, everything worked there. I could go somewhere. If somewhere in Abuja is 10 minutes, it's 10
It's
minutes.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying that if Lagos was established a lot later, you wouldn't even have so many people want to be in Lagos so bad that Lagos. I mean, because Lagos definitely has a population, but we'll get to that later. I mean, this is not an episode of Nigeria, but I will say, yeah, in the last 2 weeks, I've also had like time to really sit back and like look at my adult life. And I say this because
You went abroad.
I mean, apart from that, my brother who's younger than me got married. Now let's talk about this. Just for a little bit.
How was that, especially family wise?
That's exactly what I said. Let's talk
How
about
was
this.
that?
Let's talk about this. Now,
Okay.
you know, there's obviously the stigma that you have to first fight against, which is how can your brother marry before you are the
Senior brother.
So, there you go, right? So, but I generally don't care about things like that. Those things don't affect me. But one thing you should know is when you're conditioned a certain way, as much as it doesn't affect you, it's still going to have an implant of, okay, but you to look at it now. You get that kind of thing. I'm not affected by it, but know how it's there. So you have to kind of fight it a bit. I'm like, please, I don't care about this. Now, the aspect that got me thinking, which is why I said I had to reflect a lot on my adulthood, is now that he's a husband.
Damn.
There you go.
That hit different. Now that he's a
Now that he's a
your
husband.
junior brother.
Now that he's a husband, right? It means his priorities instantly become different, right?
Yep.
Which definitely means that his financial priorities become different. And then there's me, who is thinking about the immediate things of, okay, so now that I'm on this trip, okay, when I get back, I'll just relax first and just chill. Whereas, now that he's a husband, when he does a trip like I've just done a trip, he can't just sit back and say, okay, I'm just going to relax. A lot of times, he has to be thinking, wait, the money we're even about to spend, this is already going into...
I hear the way you're sounding, all the young men listening to this, don't get scared from marriage, Joe.
No,
already
it's not.
now, the way they're already
It's
saying
not-
there's this responsibility.
No.
this
It's not a fear. It's
responsibility.
just a reality check, right? And it's very easy to not feel the imminent effects of the transition. And what I mean by that is, you still feel single when you're already married. Like, I mean, I've not been married before, but the way I relationship is like I'm married, and so you won't feel that switch because you're like, okay, we're still doing the same things. You're still like my girlfriend from yesterday. Just that now we have rings. It starts to hit when, like we say, now start talking about the topics of having children, topics of, okay, what's our real plan? Stuff like that.
You
That's
think
when
it
you
doesn't change even when you're married and put the ring on?
For a lot of people, it doesn't. Especially if you've been having a relationship like you guys are married already. Like, where, I mean, well, of course, one thing is now you guys own a house together. That's obviously one thing that puts a reality check on it.
I feel like low-key though, side note, that's why you shouldn't do relationships like you're married until you're married. I don't want to do that.
Honestly, I'm going to disagree with you on that one. And I think we have two different takes on that.
Because the reason I say that is you still treat it, obviously you treat it like you're working towards marriage, but I'm not expecting or I wouldn't want us to be doing full marriage things yet, because again, it gives you things to look forward to. And plus, when you are married and you know that commitment is there, the level at which that person is going to do that marriage thing, quote unquote, or the example of it is obviously going to be 100% compared to beforehand. It's not to say somebody can't give their 100%. Every relationship is different, which is why I feel like there's no right or wrong answer. It's just that beforehand, I feel like sometimes it could be a setup. Because you know when they always joke and say when you're married is at least for guys, I used to hear this quote when they say, "You don't know your woman until you're married." Though. Like when she knows she can't go anywhere at that point. You know how they say some girls will do every wife thing until you actually put the ring on her finger that she knows she's not going anywhere. Next thing you know, you get a whole different person once they say I do.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's a very different aspect of, and that one comes a lot to the person's personality, right? Mm-hmm. For me, the reason why I wouldn't want to do it differently is so that I like to not get the effects of the shock, because it's definitely going to be a shock in the change. Imagine me going from I can always hang out with my guys to suddenly not being able to do that easily because now I have to have like family time. We need to like proper. I mean, it's for me, I'd rather work into already getting used to not hanging with my guys. So when that time comes, if that's the kind of life I'm going to have, I'm not saying that every married person is not hanging with. If that's the kind of life I'm going to have where I won't be able to do all the personal things I was doing before, I would like to start that already in my relationship life. So that when that time comes, it doesn't feel like a chore. It's something I have to really work hard to change. And that's just me, right? Again, I don't, even things like, let's say I'm someone who goes out to parties normally. I would start reducing that because I know that when that marriage time comes.
So I guess my example wasn't talking about things like that because naturally you do that because, again, your priorities are different. Your chilling time is different. I meant like, again, even something like moving in together. Early.
Oh, okay, I see what you're talking about.
So I'm
you're
not about the extreme things
no.
A wife thing like moving in together, maybe sharing the same bank account or something. Potentially opening a business together early.
That's not what I meant. I mean, I'm definitely not doing that with somebody I'm not engaged with, right? Or even already married to. Because there's no, I'm sorry, but if it's just a relationship, yes, you can be as committed as possible, but in the end, it's still just a relationship. And so I agree with you in the aspect of those things are way, way more serious than, people who are just in relationships. I'm never going to get a joint account. I'm never going to do
people
things.
People are doing it too.
I know people are doing it. It's just me. I wouldn't. I'm not even saying that the way they're doing it is wrong. Right?
Yeah.
But I definitely wouldn't do it. And I definitely would move forward from, anything to do with the deeper stuff. And just, I'm even talking more on the commitment side and just, making the person feel.
I get what you mean. All right. So, I mean, what do you guys think, though? Again, make sure we hear it in the comments because we want to know your opinion. We know you guys always have opinions on what we say, so let's know. But one thing that happened this past week or so with this Sunday at Tilashe is it really opened my eyes from a business perspective because this is the first time we did Sunday at Tilashe outside of Lagos, and for the last 3-4 years we've dominated Lagos by being the beach party brand of Nigeria. And a lot of you know how Sunday Lashe goes, where we have to handle boats, we have to handle all these logistic things, right? And for the first time, I didn't have to worry about all that. So that means we made a lot more money, which is obviously the benefit, and praise God, shout out to you. But then it also opened my mind to a lot of questions that now need to be answered, and I had to start thinking about, especially now that we're going to be expanding to other states in Nigeria and then even potentially other countries in Africa. So it was just like, when they say that saying, more money, more problems. It's like, I feel like I've always seen that anyways with Sunday Lashe because we've grown. But even as we're growing now, it's like, okay, there are those money problems that are coming that I have to start finding the answers to. So I had a question to ask about this business thing, yeah.
Right. But before you ask your question, we do have a question from the audience, obviously, as usual. We always read our questions.
True. You go.
Today's one is understanding girlfriend. Hi, guys. Been listening to the pod for quite some time, and you guys are doing amazing. Thank you very much. I'm a fan.
Thank you.
I started dating this guy about 6 months ago on my birthday. He didn't give me anything, or he didn't get me anything, but he told me that I should expect something later on for my birthday. He told me he was in a bad place financially because he had just finished paying the tuition fees for his sister that just moved abroad. I kind of understood because he's the firstborn and he's carrying his family's financial burden as well. My birthday has passed. Still didn't get anything yet. But, still didn't get anything yet. But I got a Valentine's gift Valentine's gift though. P.S. He sends money back home to his family from time to time as well. Do you think I'm asking for too much as a girlfriend because he doesn't spend money on me, or is he just stingy? Because he as well, he has a well-paying job. I'd really love to hear from your perspectives as guys. Sorry, this was really hard to read. But yeah, so she says, I'd really like to hear your perspective as guys on
What
this.
country are they in?
Honestly, no, she hasn't said. And again, regardless of country, if I'm being, as harsh as possible, I'm sorry, but you're doing a little too much.
Who?
The girlfriend.
Why?
If you ask me, what do you mean? You feel that his money spent, especially when you can see that he has some financial responsibilities that may be taking away that power from him, you're still feeling a bit entitled to. I mean, it's easy to want more. Nothing is wrong with you wanting more, but if that person is not giving that more, then walk away.
She said he's not even spending on her at all.
No, he said he got Valentine's gifts.
Oh, he got her.
Yeah, he got her Valentine's gifts.
Oh, I thought she said that he didn't. That's why I was just like,
Yeah,
twice.
She said, I haven't got anything yet for my birthday, but I got Valentine's gift though.
Which was first?
I guess the birthday was first.
Because if the birthday is first and you got Valentine's Day, then fair.
I mean, it's fair to us, but it's clearly not fair to her because she thinks he's being stingy. And honestly, the word stingy...
Did he at least do something for her birthday, at least? Like, make her feel special, at least on the day?
Now, according to what she said here...
Because I don't feel like she did... Because that thing is still paining her.
They started dating around her birthday or on her birthday.
They started dating
on her birthday. According to what I'm reading here, she says, I started dating this guy 6 months ago, and on my birthday, he didn't get me anything. So they've been dating for 6 months. And okay, so it's not on her birthday, but her birthday was within the early stages of them dating. He said he didn't get her anything. And he said he said he was going to get something for her later on birthday. I guess maybe he has some other financial, because he said that he had just paid his sister's school fees. And so that's why he got
allow now.
Allow who?
The guy. If I've just paid my sister's school fees,
and that's my point.
We're not even boyfriend. Are you even boyfriend girlfriend? Because dating can be a bit different.
Wait, well, let's say boyfriend girlfriend because that's what they call dating.
If you're dating, then
that's what they call boyfriend girlfriend.
If you guys are in that serious relationship that you say you are, and he communicated that hey, he has these costs coming up on your birthday, which are his sister's school fees, family responsibilities, but he's going to make it up to you, which is Valentine's Day after. And I hope he
something
did.
else entirely.
Something else. And he's still taking care of you outside of that, though. I think we're allowed to hear the man out. But if it's a case that... No, because I'm thinking about it. Have you ever not been in that situation before that maybe the girl you are talking to, dating, like the time her birthday is coming up, money no day, but you make up for it right
Later
after?
on.
Have you ever been in that situation?
I mean, of course. I think we all have at certain points. But again, it's... I'm sorry, but if I'm dating a fellow adult who also understands that. No, let's be real here. If I'm dating a fellow adult who also understands the difficulty in earning money, right? And you see that this hard-earned money that I'm making,
a fellow adult.
I'm using it to pay tuition fees that clearly, I have to take responsibility for. Mm-hmm. But somehow you think my priority should be your birthday at the time. Now, there's nothing wrong with you feeling that way.
Talk
right?
your shit.
You can feel that way.
Talk your shit.
It's your right. But to the point that I have to then, because for what you say, I would have to definitely drop priorities.
Murewa is trying to be politically correct. All of you selfish human beings, that you feel like the world revolves around you on your birthday, that we should sacrifice everything for your birthday. That's why you're still single to today. Because I don't know what kind of man you think, a level-headed man that's working hard for his money. Like, even
also taking care of his family while doing that.
On top of that, by your birthday, do you know I had a girl a long time ago that I was in this situation, guy. I had so many calls come up from like work, right? And I had to pay salaries that same week. Her birthday is coming. Obviously, it's a girl I've been, trying to get on and all that. Her birthday is coming. So me, the best I can do in terms of what I can afford at that time is, okay, if we're all out, because that was the time, like, remember all of us used to go out to, like, that was the time everybody used to go to lounges more on like a Friday, Saturday or something. Okay. And I said, you know what, best I can do right now is, okay, a bottle's on me at, the pre-drink spots, which is like, at that time, we're still younger and all that, because I'm like, I'm not about to go and do dinner, all that stuff. It's like, me and her like each other. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get her a bottle, get her a card, and then I think I got her something else, like some just small little
Simple
things.
stuff, yeah.
Girl vexed for me.
Of course she vexed for you.
But obviously, it wasn't on the day. The day she's happy to take me. I was like, says me long thing like, oh, I thought you would do more because you like me, all this stuff, da 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 da. I was like, you ungrateful mother. Like, you actually, like, this is why I say, thank God those kind of things reveal themselves, because I'm like, so if I was dating you and I'm going through something during this period now, this is how you may react.
You know, I'd really like for us to delve, I mean, not today, obviously, because we don't have the time for that, but to really delve at some point into how all of this birthday entitlement started. Because as a guy,
Social media.
I mean, yes, I agree with you. But even the same social media, as a guy, I don't see myself being, because that same person you're talking to, let your birthday come. I mean, not saying that girls don't do things for guys on their birthdays, because I mean, I definitely had, girls I'm talking to do stuff for me on my birthday. But you never get that sense of entitlement from me if they don't do anything. I mean, I would just be like, okay, I mean, I get it that, we're not quite there yet. We're not that serious. I'm not really going to, it would have been nice if I had something for my birthday, but if I don't, hey, it's cool. Like, maybe I wasn't just priority for her at the time. And that's fine. We'll move on. But you see, for women, hey, Jesus Christ.
It's
like,
unless you're my girlfriend, you can never expect that from me. Ever.
and even as a girlfriend, if you know that the man could have done this, but there are certain responsibilities that in the moment he has to take care of. Are you saying that he should have bought your birthday gift and then his sister does not go to
Because
school?
on my birthday now, you're going to get me the same thing.
I mean, but anyways, yeah. So my point again is, I mean, well, he's the straightforward one, but I would say I'm more gentle. You need to walk away from that arrangement.
You do realize
it doesn't work
men
for
that say that are not telling you the truth. But
well, again, you just walk away from it, because I can see that you want your happiness, which is somebody who would always splurge on your birthdays, and he's not giving that to you. Then maybe just walk away. Maybe he's not the person for you, because he clearly has.
So she should walk away from all the other happiness because of birthday.
I mean, that's what she's building
because
for herself.
of birthday. That's what you're saying.
No, but that's what she's building for us. If with all the happiness she can still complain about birthday, then it means it's not working for her. Let's be honest. So yeah. Anyways, yes. So
funny enough, this is actually funny that it's
tied to what
we're talking about, because I mean, speaking about things like financial responsibility, like things that come with it, the different segments in it, it's little things like this that contributes to the problem. So it's like, for example, now, like setting budgets, spending above your means, like every person has been there, every guy has been there. Whether you don't have money, whether you do have money, because, there's sometimes you spend a lot of money and you don't even have it. How that works is up to you. We all know what I mean by that. So where you don't have money, but you're spending. Then there are times you come into large sums of money, whether it's from one deal, whether it's from work, whether it's payday, that you go wild.
You know what? Let's start this off a little more interesting. Give me, and I will do the same. Just give me the one scenario where you've made a huge amount of money. I mean, it may not be huge to you now, but in the time that it came, it was money that you just normally wouldn't see coming, right? And you made that huge amount. And to you, okay, so there's two things I want to ask. So you've made the huge amount, but you had no idea anything about boundaries. You just came and you blew it. Then there'll be the second time where you believe from the first time you've learned your lessons. And you're like, no, this big money that's coming in, I must be responsible. I must be this. And the money still...
I'm still going through it.
So let's start with the first
I'm still going through it because, again, it always the new checks
good.
Just get higher.
I like that. So let's start with the one where you had no idea about money management. And I say this because at different stages of our lives, depending on how you've lived, who you've lived with, you get to know how to manage money to some extent, but in the ways, for example, the whole concept of piggy banks when you're younger, to having like a savings account, all that stuff. But you still usually don't know.
I have a lot of stories to be honest.
So what's the one
I'll say
your first one?
There are three in mind. Okay, when I probably touched my first meal.
Okay.
And I'm saying touched my first meal like years ago when exchange rate was good.
And the millionaire
I
was
actually
a
saw a
millionaire.
million that it was a full profit million. I didn't have to share with anybody. It was like once I've done this till someone else, it was a meal. And it was during... Damn, this was before COVID. That's a funny thing. So you imagine how the exchange rate was then. Saw a meal for the first time. I went crazy. So I was like, you know what? I've always said...
Talk your stuff.
Thank you, Lord, for growth. It was just like, I remember like when I was younger and shit, And we'll go to clubs like 57, Escape, all that shit. I'll go with my older brothers and all that.
Escape. Damn.
I'll go with all my older brothers and all. So I'll be the youngin' and shit. We'll be looking in the club, having a good time. But it's just like, when I get my money, I'ma do my own, man. The day I did my own, I brought baddies. It's stupid now that I think about it. Obviously, I'm young because I'm like, why would you go and waste that money? But it's like, I called all my boy. Everybody meet at my house. We're doing pre-drinks. Don't worry. We're going to, okay, girls, you ride in my car. All that stuff. I was feeling myself. Got 57, pulled up, had the drinks flowing. I think I even did the last year that same weekend and paid for it. So imagine. That's actually sad and scary to know that a meal could get you club, Ilashe, and still Sunday chill.
Oh yeah,
a whole weekend though.
Of course.
That meal doesn't even cover close to Ilashe. That's beach house and maybe.
Yep.
Yo, so yeah, I had a whole weekend. We did the club, we did Ilashe. My friend's house on Sunday. That's one. And me, I'm talking about irresponsible spending because obviously I spent on other items that are worthwhile. But I'm talking about things that you regret. First time I went to the strip club in Lagos, that was of my own money. Yeah, that was a good night. Because
let me just
because that's when the dances too were cheaper. If you know, you know.
Screaming.
The dances were cheaper and shit. So yeah, we had a fantastic time. I'm not going to go into too much detail. And then lastly, Yankee, when I did my tour in America. And the money came in dollars. I had to have a talk with God. Because I was doing well. I was holding my money. I was managing it. Because obviously I'm on tour, so I had to be balancing it. But there was one time I was in like Houston or Atlanta. And I remember I just checked my accounts. And I saw like I had done my show, everything, Profits Day. Like Yankee Profits Day. And mind you, I'm a Lagos guy.
So I'm like, wait, dollars.
So yeah, I had a nice little night too with that. No, not too many details, but yeah.
Okay. I mean that's fair. I mean, there's so many things we have to ask regarding.
Sorry, that was the trip I booked flights. When we talked about I booked flight for somebody.
Right. Oh,
yeah,
okay. I mean that makes sense. Everything's adding up now. Okay. And I mean, I will get to mine now. But there are definitely some things that you've mentioned that I think we'll touch on later, especially to do with how much spending of the money you've worked for is really like the enjoyment I've earned. Because, you know, at the same time, we're saying that, always manage your money, always do this. But we ultimately, as human beings, we work so we can enjoy the money we worked for. So at what point then is that, you know, where do we cross the line between, okay, this is the enjoyment money, I worked hard for this portion, and then this is the money where, okay, even with enjoyment, I need to actually stop it and cut this off. But we'll get to that shortly. So, my own experience. Also, same when I made my first million, but it didn't come as 1 million. It came as, well, it was within the tens, and that was my first million. My first million didn't come as 1 million. It came in the early tens of millions. And it had come from a project that normally somebody of my level, and I say level because that project would go to like much higher established, you know, companies and stuff, but it came to me. And at first I was just being diligent and doing the work. Because, you know, when the project like that comes, for example, let's say a Sunday Telashe, you have a very big brand, like let's say Coca-Cola, right? Just come and they want you to just do an not an open check event, but like just do your stuff. They're going to cover every single bill. They've told you that the money is good on this one.
It's happened before, but the stress that comes with it is
so
not
exactly. So, but in that moment, you're not really focused on how much are people paying me. You just know, these people are paying big.
That the check is open.
Let me deliver first. So I was just working. I was just delivering. Then the first payment came. Jesus Christ is Lord. This was also pre-COVID. This was in, I think, 2019. The first payment came in. You know, you kind of have to look first time, count the zeros and be like, wait. This is all, and it's full profit. It's full. I'm not splitting it. It's all coming to me. Remember when I told you that Abuja was my escape? Hey, I would do Abuja at least 4 to 5 times a year. Just any random weekend. Okay, I'm going to Abuja. And this Abuja is not that I have
And that's
somewhere
when
to stay.
flight tickets were good.
Oh yes, it's not, and it's not like I have somewhere to stay. I'm just doing hotels, doing whatever the case. Now let me be honest with you, and myself. I was so frivolous with that money. Now, not because I didn't have priorities, but again, I was in my late 20s. Just like you, I was always with, and I think this is one problem that we as guys have when it comes, especially in this, part of the world. I can't really speak for, how people live across the country, but in this part of the world, we have that, when I get this money, there are these things I already want to do. And so when that money comes in, there's a battle in yourself between, okay, let me be careful and not finish this money. And bro, what are you saying? There's money, I beg. So this thing we can do it now.
I get what you mean with the guys like that, because I also, when I say I've experienced it, is because obviously I've lived in Niger long enough that I'm part of it now.
Yeah.
But I'll say I also escaped it in a weird way, just because of like the way I was brought up in Yankee.
There you go. Yes.
So what that meant is, and that's why I said when you ask me my examples of spending, it's like funny stuff like, oh, okay, we went to the club and all that, because the more lavish things now, I'm more calculated on that. And I don't see that as a crazy expense. It's because, funny enough, for what you said, that point is, that one I'm actually going to plan. If I travel abroad, if I go on holiday, I've planned for it. So even me spending it, I'm not feeling it because it's not irresponsible spending. But then it's the ones that you don't plan for. Like you say that you're waking up the next day, that you're checking your accounts and say, wait, so that's the ones that pain me the most. That it's like, what the fuck?
That's the one. So, and where I made the mistake was, and it was financial illiteracy, because I didn't really know what, so when the money came in, of course, everybody just tells you, oh yeah, take a percentage, save it. It's not enough. Because you tell me that, I'll take a percentage and I'll save it. Let's say, for example, roughly the money that came in was 5 million, and you tell me, okay, save at least 10%, 500k. My bro, you see that 4.5?
You just made me think of another example of me sending money to a girl that I had no business sending money to.
See, let's not even get into the story. The stories on that. One mistake we always make, and I made at least, was as soon as that money that is not your regular amount of money comes in, you already believe, change of lifestyle. I started eating out. And I mean like eating out.
In restaurants every day.
In restaurants every...
Don't worry.
The whole list. I still have the list.
It go bill you.
Now, at the time, it wasn't... You think to yourself, okay, how much? And then this was back then, maybe like 50k, you're good. 60k, you're good. So I'm like, okay, 60k to 4.5 million. Let's go and eat. I didn't know that. Let's go and eat. By the time you blink like this, in 1 week, you spend like 800k on just food. It was when that started to dawn, and you start to look at that money go from 4.5 million to 3.6.
Yep.
And you're still like, it's 3.6.
Wait, do you know what's funny?
Million,
I told somebody this the other day. I said, when you actually start operating in millions, you realize it's not enough. It's not enough money, because now, for example, what 4 million naira is less than 2k.
It's less than 2k.
Now
pounds.
The thing is, if you are talking about a few years ago,
money that was still
like
money.
4M a few years ago, you're a king. Now you can still manage you, depending on your situation. That's why I said depending on your situation. Like if you're not paying rent or anything, for example,
maybe
4M go make you and you have other things covered. 4M can make you last. But if you have responsibilities, that thing will still finish like that.
Of course, yeah.
So it's like when you actually see those M's, you're thinking it's a lot. So like you say, you start spending. And Lagos, for some reason, is one of the most expensive cities, not just in Africa and the world. Like I thought about it now the other day. I'm like, wait, the average person now that is staying in Lagos now, that's paying rent, paying bills, paying this, is basically spending millions, and you're not even earning any millions.
To find someone.
So where's everybody actually finding this money to maintain themselves?
Honestly, that discussion, if we started today, I don't even think.
No, I'm just saying, like you have to.
I don't know.
It's things you have to think about, because it's like, wait, how are we all actually Because I told somebody my budget that I do for everything. I even asked myself some days, and I'm like,
where did you get this money to spend?
Where's all this money coming from?
There you go. Same thing for me. Because when I go back to do my numbers again, And you always do that numbers when your bank account just doesn't seem to make sense. You're like, wait, this money can't be this low. Let me go back and check a few things. Now, when I did that lifestyle change lasted for a while though. But you see, one thing you get to, and this is what I meant by money literacy and money illiteracy. Understanding where you live, the kind of, economic sphere you live in, compounds what you see as big money.
The lifestyle cost, now you get.
So now, of course, I regret a lot of those things because I could have taken my time, done some more adult decisions, maybe invested in a few things that might fail, might not fail, but at least would make me money to some extent, than the things that I know would not make me any money at all. When I look back on that, I definitely tell myself that I definitely didn't have any boundaries between myself and my finances. There was never really like hard discussions. Like, it was later on. It's when money finishes.
It's when
it was about to finish.
It's when you go back to zero. When you are up and you go back to zero, then in your room, you're just like, what kind of fool are you? Like, you talk to yourself in the nastiest way.
Let me tell you. This reality check always comes when somebody now says, oh, maybe book this stuff now. Stuff that you could normally do before. Oh, let's go down to this place real quick. And then you would even be the one to ginger them. Oh, let's go. Now you see the finances and you're like, yeah, I can't do that.
See, do you know what's funny? Like, even now that I just came back from Abuja now, I've been hiding. Because I was like, you're not up. Because that's the thing. That's how I my mindset, that's why I said, like, and even the lifestyle thing you said, like, I think luckily, shout out to moms for this, is that I really don't try and change my life. I've already made my lifestyle in a way whereby, like, I already operate whereby, okay, what can I get for free? And it sounds funny. It's like, obviously, especially me being an influencer now, before I already had this mentality before an influencer was like, okay, with my connections or who I am,
what can I leverage?
What can I get for free? What can I leverage? So I still think that way now because I made the mistakes, like you said, where when I thought I was making money, it did go. Even now that you're making more money, at least from those mistakes of when I was making money that to me was money then, it's like now it's like it's still not enough. Because I think one thing we have to start doing is operating in foreign currency in Naira.
Honestly, it's a gift and a curse.
You know that example I just said about the 4M being 1,800.
Right.
You're like, you can fall into that trap of Nige that you think they make bar for Nige. Is when you travel that you realize you have so much work to do.
You're telling me we just traveled and came back?
I know.
So I know exactly what it's like.
Now, don't get me wrong. There is benefits whereby the money you have here, when you make good money here, it's your money, whereby you can spend it. Like, and that's why a lot of times you see when Nigerians travel, like they do a big, whether it's for 2 weeks or 1 week, I've paid for everything you see here. There's no credit card. There's no I'm owing anybody. Now, why? That's why they always say, when you visit from Nigeria, some people do it big and all that. It's like, yeah, because I know how much I had to work for this money now. So let me just budget well. Compared to some people abroad now, like, they can't do the same thing.
Yeah, so let's talk a little more about how all of these financial boundaries plays a role in the kind of relationships we have around us. E.g., having friends. And the friends that sometimes would need some financial help. Now, let me go first. Now, first of all, I believe that someone I will call a friend, right, would not have any entitlement to my money.
Facts on facts.
And I think for every guy, and again, speak for me or speak for yourself and myself, if you agree, every guy believes that entitlement you're coming with is already the red flag.
As a woman.
Or even as a guy.
No, I don't see. As a guy, if you feel entitled to my money, you're mad. You're mad.
So, yeah. So
because if you understand, as a woman, you can understand why she would feel that way, but she's still.
Can you really though?
No.
Societal norms, maybe.
I can understand why you would feel that way, but it's still madness.
I mean, I see what you mean. Okay, then. Okay, so regarding the term of friendship, entitlement is already out the window because. What do you mean you're entitled to the money I work hard to make, right? And so when we know that the coast is clear on entitlement, I mean, between you and I, you kind of feel also that, let me give this guy this 100K, let me give this babe this 200K. But at the same time, at what point do we then draw those lines of, this person is my friend and I know they always come to for me, but me too,
So I'm not as strict. I'm not strict like that in terms of, because I've had a lot of friends that have helped me in my journey to get where I am. And shout out to all of you, you know yourselves. And I've been in that light where I had to be borrowing 100K, 200K, but everything is always paid back. That's the key thing. So I have the same rule that my friends are giving me, which is I can borrow you whatever you need, just pay back. And even at times, like I had a friend, like, and again, that's how it builds trust. It's like I told somebody, like some of my close friends helped me invest in some of my Sunday like share events that they got hella profits. Yeah. So there was trust in that. They could give me large amounts. They'll get profit. I got profit. We're all good. And then there's other times were hard years ago that I had to borrow 100K, but it's like those little things built the trust to go to higher amounts because they know at the end of the day, like, and it's also you too as a person. You just always have to make sure you have some motion if you're borrowing money.
There's that.
Because I know when I was borrowing money then, it's like, where am I going to get this money? But I had a lot of motion that could make me money, which built trust in my friends.
So, I think we need to harden the message in this particular statement, right? I feel like I don't need this to go over anyone's head. This is the clear message. If you don't have any means of money coming in, then you don't have any entitlement to borrowing money. Understand this. It's a very important lesson to take because we are very used to borrowing money on the assumption that money might come at some point.
But there's no evidence of you actually doing something to make money, or you have something that's a money maker. What's the point?
Or even if you have something that's a money maker, right? A money maker doesn't actually mean it's making money. It just means it has the potential to. Don't borrow money on potential. I'm sorry to say, but this is the truth. If you borrow money on potential, you will be in a mess, and this is where a lot of people are.
Hey, I'm laughing because I've done that where I borrowed money like a lot when I started.
Oh yeah,
that was me. I used to be more on my creative side when I started, so I wasn't thinking of the business when I was borrowing money or even just doing business decisions. To be honest, it was always creative that I knew would lead long term to a success where it's making money, but I realized also in those kind of things, you still have to be thinking of the business from day one.
Yeah, and I also think we need to make something clear. Obviously, when we say don't borrow money on assumptions, we're not talking about like innovative ideas you're trying to invest in. We mean you're borrowing money for survival. That is, I need to pay some bills. I need to eat. I need to, or I'm trying to go to this event. So
don't borrow money off that.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't borrow money for the frivolous things when you know you don't already have the money to pay back.
I'll be honest. I can say my stories. I have no shame anymore because I'm not there anymore. But I've done that. There's a time
this is where the lesson comes from.
There's a time I borrowed like, damn. Thank you God, because I don't know how the fuck we pay. When you actually think back, that you're like,
who told me to borrow?
I borrowed like a meal one time, right? For one of my close boys for work. And this was like when I started, like I said. So 500 of that went to the work, which started the work and sped up things.
And then you'd be like,
but that other 500, when I say that's how I survived for the month, my nigga. And it was a big risk because it was like, you're supposed to use this whole thing for the work, but
the whole thing, exactly.
The half of it will start it. Then it's up to me to find a way, and I found a way. But it's like
it's risky.
The mental stress it puts on you, which is why I said like now you don't borrow money unless it's literally for work. Always make sure your little things are settled now. And I think that's like for me because I was an entrepreneur from like when I finished my master's, so it's like that journey is a bit different than everybody else that probably started from 9 to 5 that you knew. As soon as you finish work, your salary is coming into the month. Bro, people don't realize for us entrepreneurs, when we start, there's nothing.
I see. And you see when you even said you borrow money for the work, I've been there. That temptation to, you look at it, 1 million. The work doesn't need more than 500K now. And I know this 500K. If I put in enough work, if I just,
I can flip it.
I'll make it back. I'll even make it back times 2. What am I saying? This whole 1 million will come from this. It's fine. This other 500K, let me use it to sustain myself. That's when the person that's meant to do their work didn't show up at the office all of a sudden.
My nigga.
It will be the same time that the equipment that we use suddenly has gone bad. And now out of that 500K, I have to take out money for repairs that were never factored in the first place. That will be the same time that somebody is sick in the hospital and you know that you need that staff for that work to come. You kind of need to come through for them, so else they can't stick their neck out for you, which is part of what your business runs on, them sticking their neck out for you. By the time you're done, you realize that out of that 500K, you've even removed some extra 300K from the one you wanted to eat from to pay things. And now you are in a mess because now business has not run the way it's supposed to. The person that's expecting the payback has a timeline. You are also not eating the way you hoped you would eat. See, and it's a lot of things.
And the mental pressure it puts you on is
ridiculous.
Is ridiculous
That
because
would be the same.
you don't even,
your mood is off.
And you know what's funny? It's like even with that money, you don't even think of saving or investing some of that money
You need
into
it for survival.
something. Yeah, just
You need to survive. You need to survive, and it's. I mean, the money discussion is a very harsh one. There's a lot of gray areas. There's a lot of levels to it. There's a lot of stuff that you need to experience personally to grow discipline in, because I've had to learn the hard way as well, where if I'm stuck somewhere, let's say work is not moving the way I need it to, and I just know that it could even just be a small 100k push that can get me where I'll never borrow that money, except I'm absolutely sure that the source has already come from somewhere else, or it has already been drafted. They've already said, okay, we've already paid it, we just need 3 days. That way I'm sure the money is coming. Then I can say, okay, yeah, let me borrow this and
But
then I'll
then
pay
the
back.
problem is even that one you can't do that now. See, some people catch their subs, but you see, because no, I'm laughing because like in Nigeria, especially now, you know how it can be when it comes to invoices now. Like you could have planned. Like,
Oh yeah, they can.
Because I've been through this situation. You know when you've borrowed money that a company or somebody says they're going to pay you on this day.
Yeah, and we are sure that okay, this is
So
that's
you've already made your
closed.
plan a week or two saying, okay, payment is coming on this day.
And then
but
it doesn't
again, we're
fall
in
through.
Nigeria.
Yeah.
By the time it now comes.
Yep. And that's why I was saying then that some things you have to experience for you to then know, okay, so next time, even if you promise me heaven and earth.
Until it reaches my account that they said, we have deposited the money in your account. And that's the mistake a lot of Nigerians make too.
Yep.
Don't make that mistake.
Yep. And the thing is, I think now we're talking even more from the angle of the people who borrow. Let's talk more from the angle of the people who lend.
So so for me, it sounds funny. Me, when I lend this, I'm lending, not expecting it back. It sounds messed up.
No, it's the truth.
Sounds messed up.
Same for me.
Because I'm hoping you do. Because the thing is, old me, I used to be very aggressive, where it's like, if I lend you, I'm coming for you. Until I now was in the seat of,
and you understand
there's
now
some delays. And it's not intentional delay.
Yeah,
but
it's not.
especially in Nigeria, things, they happen. So
Of
I
course,
had to start realizing, see, you have to have grace. Because when it's you now, you ask people
There
for
you
grace.
go.
So now I have grace. And the thing is, I'm very direct, whereby if I can do it, I will actually do it. If I can't do it, legit, I cannot force myself to do it anymore. Simple. Very simple.
Okay, so now that we're talking about the lending part, let's talk about it on the branch of family. Because there are some parts of lending that you feel that they are entitled to your money to an extent, right? And that's kind of where family comes in. And there's a lot of gymnastics that happens in that entire arrangement, which is family knows how hard you work. They know that the money may not be coming that easy or that you're not that big, but they also see that you're able to do certain things. People always create their perception from your outwardly. It's not like they're seeing what's in your account and they create an impression. They get based on the fact that he's eating better now. His outfit is looking even nicer. He's making more money. That's what they assume. And then they start to throw in some responsibilities towards you. Now, of course, they're the ones that, even to them, it's ridiculous for you to shoulder. Because I'm like, what do you mean I should pay the entire school fees for it? But they now start throwing in other ones that should be able to, you should be able to handle. Whereas you know your finances. And you know that your finances cannot accommodate any other bill at this point anymore. Like, you know that the way you've planned out your finances, you're stretched thin. But now they've brought this. I'm trying to look for, let me just look for one bill that, they can bring. So let's say, for example, you're now in a position where you feel like, or your parents now tell you they don't work anymore, but you need to pay for their accommodation, like where they stay. Let's say they stay in a rented apartment, right? Now you should be the one taking on that responsibility. Now, when you look at your finances, it's something that the money in that account may be able to cover for a bit, but you know that once that is done, you're offset so much that you can't recover from it. How do you create a boundary between that? What do you do in that situation where you tell them, look, it's either I love you guys, but sorry, no go, or you have to sacrifice yourself and your lifestyle.
So when it comes to at least my mom,
yeah,
she can ask for anything. At least
Fair enough.
Even when I blow, don't have, she can ask for anything because she has given me everything, even when she has not had. So, Momsy for life. My brothers too for life, even though those human beings, they know themselves.
Fair enough.
Like, when I say those human beings, like, they're my babies, whereby, like, they're now men, but at the same time, they can ask me for anything and I will go out my way to try and do it for them, even later on in life, at least to the end of the time. So, I think my mom, brothers, there's unlimited when it comes to them. Even for certain family members, I would say the same thing. It's unlimited for them because certain family members, I know what they have contributed to me in my life and still do. So even as I'm starting to have more success now, they should ask for it, or even when I become even more successful now, they're good.
Yeah, so my question
now, other family members.
Even those core ones. Let's stick to the core ones for now. So let's say with those core ones, you've already said that's where you've set the boundary mentally, right? Now they've not actually brought in that request, but the boundary you set.
No, somehow. So like even that's what. So what I mean is, again, it's still down to what I said earlier about if I can do it, I'll do it.
And
so
that's
like
what I'm getting
for
at now.
Momsy now, like if she asks for anything, even if it's something like right now, I'm going to look. Can I? Even if I do it, like you said, is it a case that I do it that it's going to be like, it's going to mess up a lot of plans and do this?
Yeah, and not even about plans per se. The plans could even be work related. I mean, I want it to be a very difficult.
Oh yeah, yes. So that's what I mean by. So I guess I wasn't being detailed.
Exactly.
So it's even happened up to now. Like even now, like there are times that I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I know like last December now, like we had a lot of success with Sunday last year. Everything went well and all that. So obviously, because I had taken a break for so long, it was like, okay, I was making money and other stuff, but obviously the main business now is now back.
Yeah.
Most of the profit is going back to the business.
Of course,
But obviously at that time now, like Momsy can afford herself, but she's like, I need to do this for your brother, I need to do this for the house and all that.
Kind of have to come
and it's like, okay, you know what, Mom, I will cover it. Is it going to mess up my plans and delay? Yes. But again, you think about how many times your mom has done that for you. And again, I now think, okay, can I still make this money in other ways? If I could make this, then do I have enough to at least be in this position that I can do this? It's going to be a lot more work, but fair enough, I can do it. All right, fine.
Right.
So I've been in those situations a number of times where I've had to do that for a mom, for family and all that. Not every time, obviously, but those few times you do. But that's why I said, like, again, my boundary is still the same where I know if I can do it, fine, but only for certain people.
And you know why I'm talking about this? So, I mean, it's a slightly separate topic, but a lot of Nigerians are, for lack of a better word, brainwashed, right? Into thinking that even when they don't have a good relationship with their families, because again, what I believe is this symbiotic love that you have, whereas they give you, you give them, there's an amicable love going on between you and your family, should only exist when there's actual love and not because she's just my mother. I don't know if that makes sense, because there are arrangements where you don't actually feel love for the mother, but that she's your mother feels like she's entitled to your money. And I say this because let's not forget that these mothers, fathers are also human beings, and they were teenagers at some point, youth at some point, who were also wicked people. No, wait, let's be honest. Wait. You see, what? And this is what. Wait now. Sorry. And this is the part that a lot of Nigerians don't like to actually accept. The scammers of today, the Yahoo boys, the money. I mean, all the people who commit crimes now end up having children. Yes or no?
Yes, they do.
And when those people have children, that child sees them as my mom, my dad.
Wow. Well,
mom, my dad.
You know what? I get what he's saying.
My mom, my dad at that point now becomes this person who sees that child as, okay, you're just an investment. By the time you blow, I don't even want to work again. I'm just going to be putting all my bills. So I think this is how some people think.
So I think that's more of a personal.
And I agree with you. And I'm even
saying that you're right.
People are in this personal, and because I think those are the ones who need the advice the most on how to manage the boundaries between their finance. No, it's the truth. Because now I'm grown. Let's say I grew up in that household. My parents are now entitled to every single part of my income. I don't even have the room to live my own personal life or even grow. Right?
Oh, then you say no.
But that's my point. How do you then say no? Because they are gaslighting you every day, telling you, I raised you like this.
You say no.
Okay, so, and I feel like this is his answer, and this is also my answer. You say no, right? It's not an easy thing, but you need to understand.
It's not
why
an
you're
easy
saying
thing,
no.
but it's the best thing when I learned how to say no, oh my God. You
And
know how
that's
much
where I was
freedom
getting-
came with it?
That's what I was getting at.
If you don't fuck with me, if you don't like me, like, I don't care. I'd rather say no, that the people that need to be around me are around me, family included. Because if you keep saying yes, 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 and the thing is, I learned this not from family, but okay, like, my peak is not even my peak, because my peak never starts, amen. But Sunday last year, like, there was a point where I was taking care of a lot of people. Like, when we were before I took the break last year, there were so many people I was indirectly or directly taking care of, and there were so many bills I was paying behind the scenes that nobody would know.
Yeah.
And that's like the non-flashy side of it, because the flashy side is everybody's seen the success of Sunday last year. Oh, you're always on the beach. Oh, the celebs day, babes day, and all that. You don't know it's a business, and there's a lot of people you have to take care of.
Yep.
And there was a point I'm like, yo, all my money is literally going to everybody else, because by the time we've done events, by the time I've paid everybody off, by the time I've paid all these bills, by the time I've lent money here, done this one, oh boss, we need money for this.
Exactly.
I'm not actually even taking home any money.
When do you enjoy the spoils of your hard work?
I never, and I tell people I barely did, because you are taking care of so many people. Until the first decision I made for myself when it came to my business of Sunday last year was actually saying, I'm chilling, I'm done. Like, I want to take a break. I want to rebrand. I want to revamp, because I was like, bro, I've been thinking of everybody else these last 3 years. And
Start thinking
the
about
day
yourself.
I started saying no, it was a bit lonely at first, because some people start to leave. People aren't treating you the same because you're not saying yes, but you've created, the best thing you can do is create boundaries for yourself.
Yep. Now, talking about this, I'm talking about, just money spending boundaries, all of that stuff. Let's talk a little more about saving culture. I think that's the part that we need to now.
Sorry, real quick, before we even talk about saving culture, there was a question we missed that somebody had asked, and it was like talking about how we're talking about people entitled to your money. Have you ever had a woman that's been entitled to your money in the past, and how did you handle it? And have you folded when some women have been entitled to your money? I'll be honest.
Folded, yes. I'll definitely say. Thing is, what's the funny thing? I don't even remember the who.
When a man starts saying, you know the thing.
No. I'm saying that this is funny because I don't even remember the who was entitled, but I just know that I folded for someone who was. And this is, again, I think this also is in the stage of, the money has come in, the money is just there. You don't have no real plan for. You're just thinking, 100K. Have it. You can take it.
Sweetie, what's 100K?
What's 200,000?
Because to you, they say a lot. So I was like, oh my God, he gave me 100K and all that.
Yep.
But meanwhile, it's an investment, Loki.
Sorry? And I mean, it depends on who the person is.
Investment.
It depends on who the person is.
The caliber of girl.
It still depends on because what am I investing in exactly? Her beauty?
I mean, to be fair, okay, let's put it this way, right? Let's start from that. I always like starting from the high up.
Okay.
So let me choose my words carefully.
Open yourself, don't worry. Because I know that's going to happen.
We always joke about the Ikoyi base, but all the rich girls are not all in Ikoyi. All the rich girls are not all in Ikoyi. All the rich girls are not in Ikoyi. So let's do it. The expensive girls.
Okay.
And when I say expensive girls, it's not that your taste is expensive.
Yeah, please. That's not
that
expensive.
Your family and your lifestyle, the way
and
you were brought up is expensive.
Yes.
Because there's some girls that have expensive taste, but
they are acquired. Those tastes are acquired. This one is inborn.
God bless you.
They gave birth to you.
Your father has set a standard that is like, wow,
this
is what I have to.
You don't know that taste, yeah.
See, those girls, if you give 100K, that's
it's just like, okay, I guess it did a little something. It's cute.
Oh, that's nice of you, even.
It's cute, yeah.
Bro, the first time that happened to me, there's a girl, her father's a multi-millionaire, my nigga. And there was one time, we talked about it too, where she's like, could you lend me 100K? I'll easily pay you back. And she could, though.
Of course.
But obviously, your pride would be like, pay me back? Pay back?
What do you mean payback? No.
Meanwhile, this side, you want that money, yo.
Okay.
Sorry.
Guys, for context, 100K is not a problem, okay? Let's just put that out there.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Just you throwing that money.
But no.
Bro,
it's real.
You can never ask that kind of girl for your money back ever. Because
what do you mean money back? What do you mean?
How dare you?
How do you even structure it? By text? By phone call?
Hey.
So
you know that 100K I said to you. No. Mind you, this is somebody that can pay for you if you want. Think about it. She's someone that she deals with foreign currency.
why
You are
we
dealing with
going
naira.
far? Why we go? And I think this is the part where I can agree that's an investment. I see where you're coming from now. Because if she asks me for 100k, I will gladly.
Give
In
her-
fact, I'm now so happy
See,
that I have a worth.
Let me bust your head.
What do you
There's
mean
a
you
girl-
needed me for
there's
something?
There's a girl. Let me bust your head. There's a girl. You see me on top of her. I
Yeah.
gave her 100k. He paid me. Not that 100k is doing me, but
Yeah.
he paid me. But do you know the investment after? When I came to London, I needed a place to stay. This girl said, "What? I'm in my family in Oxford Circus. Like, we have rooms everywhere. Come, guy, if you see the high rise, this girl, they stay in. I had my own bedroom and everything." I said,
That's the time she'll be like, "Sorry, can you help me wash the?" Yes, I can wash the dishes. I can also.
like when she's going for errands, don't worry, I'll take care of the house. Don't worry. So there's those kind of girls now. 100k won't matter. Now, let's go one level down.
I hear where this is going.
Let's
but
go one level down.
Let's go. All right.
Then the girls now that are making money. Your upbringing could have been 50. Your father was still in your life. He
50-50,
still made
yeah.
sure you had the necessary things. But obviously, no day that's,
Extreme
expensive.
end, yeah.
But he made sure you saw certain standards. And
You
then
traveled a
because
few
of
times
the
and that's it.
opportunities he presented to you of traveling and all, you've seen expensive tastes. So you've now acquired it.
Yes. I agree.
That 100k is going to mean more to her,
Yes.
but it's still not a full investment because if she wants to, she has that by
has it,
herself.
yes, she has
But
it,
because she's a Niger babe, she don't want to spend that.
And also, she understands that money you need to work a bit. She has
Exactly.
that to
She
work for
understands,
money.
but she's still a fine babe, which means
Yes.
like she doesn't like spending her money. You understand? So,
People still
but she'll
spend,
understand. This guy gave me 100. Okay, I go note time. Note keyword
Note
note
it,
time.
you note it, yes.
There's that one. Let's go down.
I'm not here with you. I'm just,
It's one
you're
day.
on
It's
it.
one day off camera that's killing me. This
Now you always goes
Now, there's the 100k of when you give a girl now a 100k that she's aspiring to want to be like those rich girls. So
see that.
outside, it seems like the way she portrays it is like
What do you mean 100k?
100k. I was like, but inside,
She has already calculated that. Okay, this 100k like this now. That's
some people are laughing off camera because they know what I'm talking about.
That
But
pack
okay,
of Gary I've been trying to aim it finally.
but
the
they
100K
would
has
never.
come
It's the packaging online that she will say that you think 100. If I give 100k to this girl, maybe she'll answer me. Meanwhile, inside she's like, thank God. Fine. Then
in. I can't do this.
the last one. There's 100k you can give to a babe. You're a king.
Outwardly.
You're a king.
Okay.
Am I lying? This is Menisms. Am I lying?
Fair enough.
Am I lying?
Fair enough. I mean, but in all of
Am I lying?
you're
Yes
not.
or no?
You're not. No, you're not.
Thank you.
No, you're not.
Okay.
But in all of this, please, I'm not with him. People, I'm not with him. Please, this category, I'm not with him.
Hey, pastor.
But in all of this, wow! Somebody said, "See your shirt off camera." This is based on experience, purely experience. I can't say more than that.
Okay, so those are the 4 categories of what a 100k can do for you on streets.
Okay, so now I do see what you mean by, to some extent, an investment. And when you're creating a boundary between the people who are entitled to your money, for some people, you definitely see why that would be an investment. Not because it's a return of money, but just an exchange of value of some sort, which is, like you said, for the girl who housed you because you were able to come through for her at some point, that was an exchange of value. But let's make this clear. Stage 1 and stage 2, they are okay for investments. You see that stage 3 and 4, just go and believe that the girl that is upcoming, aspiring to be a baddie, and you give her 100k hoping that she will come through for me later. And if you, my brother,
No, actually, that's not true. Because
if we're talking
I
about
would,
probabilities, and
I will not
statistics,
lie to you.
It's not
a lot
impossible.
of the girls that are aspiring baddies, who some are baddies now, funny enough. Every girl's a baddie to me. But what I mean is, on that come up stage, there are lots
that's
of
what you should
girls.
say.
There are lots of girls that helped me
In their come up
that till
stage.
now, I can't lie to you. As I they blow, if they need help, I go help them.
in their
Because
come
they
up,
helped me.
in their come up stage. See, let me tell you how important that stage is. Oh.
What do you mean?
In their come up stage, they're still humble. Because
No,
in their
there's
come
some
up
girls
stage,
that were even established. That I'm talking. Okay, maybe let me rephrase it. Okay, you're right. Okay, oh, I get what you
Exactly.
mean.
Exactly.
Okay, so for me, it was equal. I knew there were some girls that were upcoming that helped me that till now love day. There were some girls that I established.
So nice.
Now they want as many. No, they want as many as them that helped me as much as the upcoming.
Okay.
But the ones that helped me that I established, for life, they did.
Which is no, but that's why I said probability wise, it's not impossible. For every scenario, you still have those people who. But if we count out of 10 women,
by far, it's always the okay. I get what you mean.
Don't go and invest in someone who's already. And again, this is not even to throw shade at anyone. Maybe a little bit of shade, but if you're going to at any point. And this is us just talking about, a woman being entitled to your money and who you believe you can succumb to. It has to be someone you believe for some reason you see a bit of value.
But can we talk about, we're not saying one thing, especially that talks about this entitlement. And we have to have this honest conversation, which is sex and money in Nigeria.
Okay.
Because when you hear that entitlement thing, a lot of people, let's be real, on streets from whether you hear or something, the entitlement always relates to sex. In terms of,
I do see what you mean.
At times when men use their money on women, they feel entitled to sex,
yes,
long term. And then there's some women that even feel like if I take this money or something,
this guy
I'm entitled to either give him something
or we have sex already, and now I'm entitled to his money.
There's that side to that. Because we had sex now, I'm entitled to add some money. That's even the more common one. So let's talk about each street, because I won't lie to you. It's a conversation we've not really had, but we've had. And it's something that I can't lie. It made me hate dating in Lagos. Because I told people, people would think, when I was single, I was on streets. Yeah, I did on streets. But I was having my own fun with my own rules because I hated the rules that were presented in Lagos about dating, where it's
it's just an exchange.
Thank you.
Money, it's transactional exchange, yeah. It's just
so let's talk about each one now. So the first one, let's talk about the last one, then we'll go back. So what you said about when women have sex now.
And then they're entitled to your money.
Because we're going to talk about all three, to be fair, because we're not just saying it's the women. Yeah. So let's talk about that one.
Yeah, now. And I would say that even this particular one we're talking about is the core of when men.
You know what we just said about the levels of women. Do you not feel like the levels of women contribute to what kind of woman is going to be entitled to your money?
Which is why I said from the beginning, your sense of entitlement shouldn't come from, because the people who be careful, they're going to cancel us.
No, but if you like cancel me, at this point I've lasted this longer.
The people who would even see that the sexual encounter you had is an exchange for entitlement to your money are usually a certain level, if we're being honest. Because the rich girl that is in Ikeja GRA or Ikoyi or VI or wherever she is, if you guys had sex, the only reason you'd find a few of them still wanting to feel entitled is because they've just been socially influenced.
Or they know you're the kind of nigga that's trying to play them. So it's like,
exactly.
You want to play me. Because women are smart too. So she can be like, all right, you want to play me? All right, I'm going to get something. Same way you want to get something out of it, I'm going to get something out of it.
It's a game thing. But if it's from a pure, I actually really liked her, we liked each other, we had good sexual energy, blah, 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 and then that happened, the people who wouldn't be entitled to you spending because that happened are usually the people that are not in the rich or rich. I mean, let's be honest, right? The people who are in the rich will just see it as, we had sex. I mean, I kind of like him, but he's being a bit of a dick, and that's it.
And as I said, unless they can see something intentional from you in a negative way,
exactly.
That's really from that. And let's say most times, because we don't want to assume all of them, because you have money now, you don't. Because what's funny is, now on streets, it will shock you. Some girls, and the reason we're saying some girls is because, again, this is menisms. We're talking about the opposite sex. Some girls are coming from good homes, but still moving in their street way.
No, and I agree with you. I mean, so I guess
both parents, your father too is. Hey, I know the family you have probably more than me, but you still moving like you hungry on streets.
Yeah. Okay, we already know.
No, call a spade a spade.
I mean, I'm even saying we already have a name. But anyways, again. I'm speaking on the general of each of the categories, which is on the general side, you do have people from the rich homes who more than the other side would just not see anything more than, you're being a dick. Yeah, I guess if we have sex, are you trying to play me type of thing? But they're not saying, because we slept together, buy me this Chanel, buy me the
you are supposed to anyways.
Yeah, they don't see that, right? The ones who do are usually people who, again, it's a transactional thing for them still, sex is some sort of a come up avenue. I mean, again, people do whatever they do for income. No, I allow that. I mean, I'm not going to knock anybody's hustle, but those are the ones to not even, if you don't feel like you want to, have any of your finances invested in that person, then you don't even head in that direction. And for me, it even gets harder to create boundaries with those kinds of people, especially if you live in a place like Nigeria where you sort of understand the rules. You walk away from that. But again, for anything regarding financial boundary with those people, like you just said, it's always a hard no. If you like, hate me. If you like, don't hate me. If you like, just...
I had a lot of girls that called me up because of that shit.
And I'm saying this financial boundary because this is the point where a lot of guys end up fumbling that hard money you
and what I hate
so
and
hard
what I
for.
hate is so many guys tell me about, oh my, I'm spending this on her, I'm doing this on her. I'm like, you dumb fuck. Like, you literally are part of the reason. No, I'm sorry, you are my guy. I tell you this in your face. I've told my guys this in their face, so I'm not hiding anything. But what I mean is, a lot of guys are ruining the game right now for other guys in Lagos by just throwing money. And this also goes to the rich men too and all. And what I mean by that is nobody, again, what we're saying is we're not saying you can't spend money on a woman, because me, I'll be a hypocrite to say I don't spend money on women, but I spend money on women I like. I spend money on women that I want to spend. So it's like, I always tell every girl, right? If I like you, the money conversation never needs to come up.
Never.
Because I'm already going to do things that at least, when I say cost money, is that I'm going to do things to make you comfortable that you don't even need to think of money. If that makes sense. Like, if I ask you out on a date or something, we're going to go somewhere that you don't need to ask too many questions.
Mm-hmm.
Or we're going to do stuff that's fun that you don't need to ask too many questions. If you need stuff and I can notice and I can afford, I will do.
It's pretty straightforward.
But again, I'm not going. That's why I'm going to position it that you don't need to ask. And even if you do ask, it's probably in a way that there's a relationship that's been built. So it's not going to pain me. What we don't like as men is some of you from the jump. We just learned your name. And already you are talking about money or indirectly talking about this.
What do you even mean name? I don't even know what your name is, but your beauty is just captivating me. Send me your account. It's from the account balance that I'll get to account details that I will see what your name is.
And then here's another thing I want to tell women too that listen to our podcast. When you ask niggas for money, don't underestimate men. We will find that money from somewhere.
I'm so you know what, this money topic is very important,
because some girls will say, if you can afford me. Okay, first off, you talking about money already makes you look like an item. So that's actually your fault. It's not our fault too. Mind you, you're already positioning yourself, if you want me this much, if you want me, okay, thank you. So you've already presented yourself as an item. Don't worry, you think I won't go and find the money? How much is 200k?
And this honestly is how guys end up in a mess.
I want you to say this is how guys are thinking. If guys can spend millions in the club, what is 200k or 300k to sleep with you? And again, I don't say this disrespectfully. I'm saying I want some of you guys to start thinking about these things logically, because I've seen it on streets, on Twitter, and it's like, if these boys are going out doing God knows what for millions, you think 100k, they won't go and spend reason, and then they don't even look at you as a woman. They look at you as an item.
Yeah, I mean, of course. And I think ultimately we're still the problem here, right? Because we believe that that's money that we've worked hard for, the enjoyment, the spoils, the earnings is spend it on women. That's what we would be, and that's why we can even go as far as borrowing.
There's a difference in spending on woman and spending on experiences with woman.
But it's still tied in.
No,
to me.
No. There's an experience. Like, for example, now I won't lie to you.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong.
Streets me. Mm-hmm. I could pay for Ilashe by myself with a whole bunch of baddies and my niggas.
Fair.
But we're not doing that in a, I have to sleep with her. I want to go to the beach with some girls and have a good time. Mm-hmm. Whatever happens there is the beach. We're having a good time, but I'm not spending it to sleep with you.
Yeah, no. And I'm saying that even those two categories come into play, and we can both speak on this experience. So I'm going to beach to have a good time with these girls. Oh yeah, spend money. Tomorrow, the next person that I also want to have an experience with has said that, let's go out to have cocktails.
Fair.
Go and spend. I'm not trying to have sex with any of them. Day 4, somebody has said, let's go bowling. It's not going to be free. We're going to spend that.
True.
Day 6, let's take a drive or let's just travel to Abuja. Lagos is boring.
Who said that?
I'm letting you know experience. You want to experience somebody?
You can't experience unless you're my babe.
Okay. So then there's also I've never gone paintballing before. Let's do experience, Abi. Now here's what I'm getting at.
I was about to say that's not expensive, but I just realized that 30k,
30,
60, 90.
There you go.
Okay.
So ultimately, yes, we have the two categories of guys, but it still comes back to the fact that this is where we end up taking all our hard-earned money to. I mean, obviously, other people have priorities as well, but let's be honest, a lot of guys spend earnings on the experiences they want with women or whatever the case. Now, and this is what brings me back to my previous question. What then is your saving culture? Have you ever had any saving culture? Have you ever had any practices on saving? How? What do you do? So for some people they have the colo. The colo was a common thing that would happen where you just, any cash I have, just put it in there because I know I can't access it anymore, like the piggy bank, right? What other, did you have any other kind of saving culture that you say, okay,
What's
maybe
funny is, at first, before I started using like apps and all that, my mom actually was my savings when I started. Sounds funny.
a lot of Nigerians actually, a lot of Nigerian
No,
guys.
it's just, again, it's on your relationship.
No, yeah.
And the reason I did that is because, again, she was the one that spent on me with school and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
even when I started, obviously, she was paying the
lot of
bills and all
support,
that.
yeah.
So it was like, okay, when the real money started coming in, it's like, yo, mom, okay, this is how much I'm making now. Okay, I just got this check. And the reason I'm telling her is because I know she's not going to steal my money.
There you go. That's why.
And I know if I don't give it to her, I can't,
You're
like,
going to-
just the way I am, if I kept that shit,
You're gonna be spending on experiences. Yeah.
that too is possible.
Yeah.
So I would rather just, so for me, it's like, I would tell my mom, like, yo, mom, I just made like this big check on this. Like, okay, can you hold this for me?
Mm-hmm.
Can you do this? And even, to be honest, my mom has always been straightforward. And shout out to you, mommy. She's been straightforward with me, done everything she needs to. And even if she's like had to like use it or something, like, you know how parents always come to you, but this one I use, but you don't. Like, even my mom using it, like I said, is no issue because it's going towards something for the family, it's going towards something for the house, and she's the one that already was covering it before. So that was my main thing at first. Now, I actually have different bank accounts, and because of PalmPay sponsoring this, I'm opening PalmPay, because I'm like, at least putting it in other accounts, I know, for example, now, like, what I'll do is I won't have access to like the online banking for those other banks. So a lot of times I'll take that money, put in those other banks that I know, okay, it's sitting there. Then even investment wise, like, I started talking to friends probably in the last year or two, because I won't lie and say somebody I've always been investing because I was more hustle, like money was just coming in. But in the last year or two, I had to actually start talking to my friends about, but bro, where can I put this money? Because I don't like even saving it, because Naira doesn't even do anything for you anymore. You get what I'm saying? Like, we just said again, if you have some millions in Naira, that shit is still not even
It's nothing.
pound.
Nothing.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's more of like educating myself of more investment opportunities. But the basic things I was doing before was just my mom, other banks, and then little investment opportunities of putting my money there. But now it's like I'm starting to look at other bigger investment opportunities now to put my money in.
To be honest, I've always, every time a bank says, or any kind of financial institution says, oh, we have this investment opportunity, come and put your money here, get this money back, I'm always like, you guys and your rates are very ridiculous. But honestly, PalmPay has, I mean, because they have that feature, I forget the name now, but I've used it a few times on the app, because of course I downloaded the app a while back, and they have this you spend, you save feature going on.
So I've heard about, so I used to be skeptical about that until we obviously did the research and all that. And to be fair, that's actually, I wish I was having that right now, because I know how much I spend. So imagine every time you spend now, you know, no matter what, money is just going into the account. I've
tested it on like small amounts, because again, Nigeria, but you know, I've tested on small amounts, and it actually is pretty. So for every money I spend, they'll say, and I can set that percentage of what I want to save per spending. So I already know that I'm forced to, because I'm horrible with saving, and I'll be honest with you, I'm horrible with saving, especially when you live in a country where what you want to save is also your survival money. So I'm here.
Because Nigeria can happen to you once you step out of your house.
There you go. You just step out. All of a sudden, there's one flat tire. All of a sudden, there's something at spot.
Car yesterday.
There we go.
Mind you, I just fixed my car.
Somebody hit my car last week. In fact, no, 2 weeks ago. Just before. That is, I was leaving on Friday, Thursday, somebody hit my car. I'm just like, really?
Me, I was parked though. Luckily, no damage. I was just parked, minding my business. I want to go and see my guy. So I parked, about to get out the car. I'm just facing my phone like this. Next thing I just say, boom. I just see the car. So of course, I step out just looking pissed. Then obviously, you see how people go, I beg, brother. I beg.
There you go.
Because we're not in America or London, I can say, what's your insurance number?
Exactly. And you know, one thing I would even say about this feature, and again, this is just my person. I enjoy this mostly because it's harder for me to go into my account and say, okay, this I want to remove 10k and save. I want to remove 500k and save, because I'll be looking at them like, are you sure you can save this? You need this
10K
tomorrow.
that you can order chow real quick, man.
But if I know that for every amount I spend, I've already gotten the money saved somewhere, it honestly takes all the headache away from me.
There's good and bad in that though, because I can only imagine if I knew I was using like that Palm Pay feature now, where it's like I save every time. It will make me analyze my choices, but also may make me validate my choices more.
I agree
Like,
with
you know that thing I told about the strip club off camera? Like, imagine at camera, like, okay, if I spend the strip club, I'm saving 22% at least. So if I spend now, at least 22%.
So you know what? At least I'm saving. This is my justification. You people don't shout at me. I'm enjoying my money.
For every dance, 22%.
But at least you wake up in the morning thinking, okay,
I've saved money.
Exactly.
I've saved money.
Some of the money went
some
to
of the
this.
money was
I can justify my.
compared to those mornings where you
I'll just blow everything completely.
Jesus, how many?
I think it makes sense.
No, I like that. So for all of you out there, make sure you get the bank Palm Pay, because again, they are sponsoring us. But that feature of 22%, see, all of you are laughing at us now, but you actually don't realize Lagos nights out. How many of you have been drunk on a night out that you are spending that you're not supposed to spend? Though, imagine at least if you know you are spending, you are saving money. That's what I'm going to say.
Yep, exactly. But it's like this large amount cap feature that they had, where also by myself, I can decide if I want to go out somewhere and I know, okay, I don't want to spend more than 200k in this place. No matter what you want to do, this is my limit. They also have that feature, because I've had times. Let me tell you, I've had times.
I need that, bro.
I will go to a restaurant and I'm just about to order. Or let's even say restaurant is even far. You go out to a place where, you know, as you buy, you spend. You buy, you spend. Then you're kind of, let's say I'm trying to get drinks. And I'm leaning towards that. Maybe I've put a cap of 100k. I shouldn't spend more than 100k because I know myself already. And and normally, let's say with my bank transactions, it just requests a PIN before I get to pay, complete the payments. And I get to where I'm going and I'm ordering drinks and I'm not like, you know what, let me do one bottle. Especially when those girls are started coming and you're like, cocktails is not enough. Sorry, waiter, please give me one, whatever drink it is. Let me not mention any drinks.
The cheapest, you buy tequila.
Exactly. So just, let me just do tequila.
Let's start the night with tequila and some shit.
Guys, they want whiskey. They say they want with their whiskey, but you know what, champagne. Let's do both.
I can't lie. Babe say we want whiskey. I'll be scared though.
So they want champagne. Say we only drink champagne. Okay, no problem. Let's bring a menu. And then you see them and you're like, yeah, this is only small now. What's this? Give me what's your account number again? By the time I get to my app, and I see that my app is now after PIN asking me for facial recognition, I'm just like, wait, bros. There's a reason why. There's a reason why.
I won't give publicity to the strip club. It's like when you go to the strip club, you say you want dance, they'll say you have to buy a drink first, sir.
And in the moment, you'll be like, yeah, shut up. How much now? How much? Bring it.
100k, sir.
When you not get it, you realize, this one is past my limit. I'm sorry. Because let me tell you, that lack of discipline always catches us in that moment.
Yeah.
In that moment. I've had too many times where without any kind of restriction.
So I'm the friend that if we're out and we're a little lit and the bill comes and we need to cover some costs, I'll say, okay, don't worry. If I'm the one that pioneered it, especially, like, I'll cover it. Or if we're with some extra base, I'll pioneer it. Depending on the location. Because I won't lie to you now. For example, if we go boho, it's not me that's going to say I'm covering for everybody. It's not me. I'm sorry. No. I will pay my contribution. That's no issue. But if you go to a place like boho now, guys will get excited. Say, there's one baby here. Let's get one extra bottle. Is you, they'll leave with that extra bottle though. That's almost 500,000 you have to pay by yourself. It's not me.
Another scenario you would also look at that will kind of make you look at this transaction cap, the large transaction cap, as a solid feature is, I'll give you the scenario if you go out to the club, you and your guys, and you know the way it is in Lagos, you split the bills, right? But also some guys can be useless, especially when too many girls are there, their blood is too hot, and you all order way more than you would have liked for everybody to order. And now everybody's trying to split it in 300k. I'm like, 300, this is the split? We're splitting that? What the hell did you guys buy? Now, even if you have this cap, and the cap says, because I'm trying to think about ways now that guys will just walk around this. You have the cap that says, okay, I can't spend more than 100k, right? And then you don't also want to look like, really, get 300,000. Really, is that the why are you out at night? You now tell that your guy that, you know what, bro, I have a limit, but just I'll sort you the rest out tomorrow. When your eyes have cleared in the morning.
No, so it depends on the
you
friendship.
see.
So me, I know the friendship group that we do that with each other. Like there's certain friends we know. Oh yeah, I will call you by morning.
Yeah. No,
day
I'm
after,
not saying
that's
that the
fine.
friends trust you.
We trust each other.
Yes,
on
and
that
I'm
one.
saying that they trust you.
But there's some guys you go out with
You can't. Yeah.
that you don't even know them that well, or you know their personality outside that you say never.
Yeah, but I'm not saying the ones you can trust, right? You trust them. You guys have done the whole thing. Somebody covers through for you, and now you have 200k deficit. You will wake up in the morning when your eyes have cleared, and then now realize that, oh damn, I meant to balance this guy 200k.
I've been there.
The next time when you see that you have your cap of 100k, it will remind you that, oh, this is why I set that cap of 100k. Like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this no more. And to be honest, I think it's a solid feature. I think it's a solid feature.
I need that. And then even like one last feature that they have that I noticed is like their fixed savings.
Right.
So it's like when you were asking me earlier, like what I do with my money. Like when I found out that with PalmPay now, like you make interest on your fixed savings, that's also something that sold me, because I'm like, the fact that my money can sit somewhere, like notice how I said I put my money in other banks, but if I put it in PalmPay now, that I'm getting at least a great percentage, like over 20% now that's returned.
Over 20% is
because in Nigeria, like it's like when you put naira down, it's like, where is it actually going to grow to? And it's like, if you think about it, okay, if it's 22%, let's say you put 1 million naira that you just sit down, that means at the end of the day you're going to get 200k or so.
Yeah,
and people don't realize 200k goes a long. See, if you like
You
do
never
bad guy,
know.
say do bad guy and say I'm doing well now, 200k will go.
It will be the day you're on your last petrol that you now realize, hey,
God bless you.
wait, oh, I have this money I've been saving for the last
God
year.
bless you.
Honestly, it always comes through. Always comes through.
God bless you.
Always comes
So
through.
you guys, again, make sure you check out PalmPay and their new features, please, because I feel like definitely they're a bank that actually is intentional of making banking easier for people, because a lot of banks we use based off just traditional name, but I like how PalmPay is coming with this. Oh yeah,
Intentionality.
Got you. So, all right, let's quickly one more last question, at least as we're rounding up about this topic, right? So, do you feel like if you woke up tomorrow, right, and had Davido money, do you feel like you'll be the same, or you know you're going to end up having bad spending habits, but you feel like you'll be able to control it later on?
That is, I wake up in the morning, maybe I see like what? Maybe like a
50,
1 billion naira type
100M.
100M, what, naira?
That's even, I mean,
I don't have 100M naira in my accounts, but let's say 100M naira.
Let's say 10M dolls. 10M dolls.
10M dolls. Damn. You don't like 10M dolls like 10 billion naira, like over 10 billion naira. Okay. 10M dolls. I will first buy 200k suya. That's the first thing. Just first buy, sorry, make a first balance. I'm sorry, guys, but I have a life to live. Let me live it, please. 200k suya first. Then I'll ask how much is land in banana. Okay, obviously I'm kidding. I'm fooling around. But to be honest, if I see that much money,
I'm not. I'll buy an apartment in banana.
I mean, if I see that much money, as much as we've spoken all this English here, I'm still a human being. You people should allow me, please. I will try my best to first of all invest in something, and there has to be property, because property is the only thing, and I'll say land particularly, is the only thing that I know the economy is not, whatever economy is happening is going higher. It's never going to suddenly dip. So that's the first thing I would do. Now, regarding whatever I'm going to use that change for, I honestly first go and do private jet experience. There's no way I have over 10 billion. I won't at least have one private jet experience. And then after that, I can now decide whatever is happening. But yeah, mostly set up companies. I think what I'll just do is be an angel investor. But then I have to understand and, read more about what it means to be an angel investor. But that's what I'll do. Just look for people who have startups. They need
so
with all the
talks we've had about PalmPay fixed save features, with all the talks we've had about,
No, it's already given that I have a PalmPay account that is already helping me flip my money. That one is on the side. That one's not how I'm using the money. That one is already there inside the account.
So as you're
and
spending,
it's working
you're
for
still
itself.
making money no matter
Of course,
what.
it's working for itself. I already have money in the fixed accounts, that's fixed savings that I'm not even thinking about anymore. I've already set up the percentage that I'm going to be flipping every time I spend money.
So what would your daily limit be?
This is a very good question. For an account of 10 billion daily limit, I like to enjoy life. Maybe 10 million daily limit.
thing is, I don't think I'll change. I mean, some things will change. I would honestly. Let me tell you what will change. Certain
what
things,
10 billion is, bro?
certain things will change. Like obviously, my car will change. Will my house change? No, because I'll buy properties. But then,
I mean,
worst
house,
case, okay,
house maybe not.
the house may not change. But
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
I'll buy properties that is like, okay, these ones the clothing now will be maybe a little different because
Yeah,
at least
actually,
now
maybe a little
I can
different.
try whatever I want to try without worry. So, but
Yeah.
like lifestyle, it just means maybe the money you'll see more of. Like the things I do are just amplified even bigger.
I will be traveling.
Like the work I do, exactly.
See that travel? I will
so
travel.
the traveling,
Jesus Christ.
the work is going to be bigger because it's going to be amplified. But like the life, because I think about it now, it's like one joke I always say is, especially for us guys, when you get bad, the babes will change.
You see, for me, I don't even think. I
fact-
think I'm now past that.
I've passed it,
Yeah,
but
but
it's
I
also
never, because I get what
see,
you mean.
because I always say I joke and say I saw babes without anything, but obviously you don't see babes because you don't get the back.
Yeah.
No, but that's the thing. I feel like again, you can only speak for yourself. I saw a preview, or I've seen a number of babes, because obviously not be every baby see, because again we don't get all the bad in the world, but
Of
at
course,
least I've seen a preview of what I could get without it, and I know what I have now, and it's like I'm good. If anything, if I have the money, I want to spend it on one girl. Because with that one girl, you feel track her. So at least I know how this money is going to also be a return on investment because she likes me for me.
Yeah, and even
when you
apart
spend
from
on
that,
other women, you don't know.
Yeah, you know, and even apart from that, you know, you mentioned something key earlier, which is about the experiences. When you're experiencing, a lot of times it's not really that it's the different women, it's the fact that you have the money, but you need one woman to experience it with. Like this experience needs a woman to experience it with fully. And now I have the money, I have the woman. Hello, what am I?
I mean, it's more of us. I can share the story with somebody.
There you go, exactly.
Compared
Because
to
of
like
experience,
when you do it with other girls now, it's like, okay, I had this time, but I can't even talk to that same girl about it up to now.
Or I wouldn't even remember the person I experienced it.
As well. But yo, let us know what you guys think about this episode. Like, we actually just realized how much time has gone, so we've been enjoying it. Again, it's a special episode sponsored by Pompey, so make sure you go and check all the information we put on them. But we hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Don't forget to support those who support us, which
That's
is
right.
follow Pompey, check all their innovative ideas, check all their new features, and then make sure you open an account as well. And remember to download the Pompey app and use our MCAST code so you can get yourself a cash voucher.
All right. And until next time, we will see you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and all our audio channels on Menisms Podcast. I am Michael Sonario.
And I'm Murewa.
And we'll see you next time on Menisms.